Oh, on Christmas Day, Wednesday, December 25th, we pulled the airplane out of the water. It was blowing a little bit, but I was able to get it out. I got bounced around a little bit, but once we got it out of the water, it was fine and brought it home. But the forecast was for it to be pretty crappy that day, blowing, and it turned out to be accurate. It blew for a couple of days, 25 to 30 with gusts of 50 or better. I didn't dare open up the windows here, or the doors on the hangar, to put the airplane away. And then we had a little bit of trouble with the water system in the cabin. It froze up. Last time we had cold weather that way for several days. It warmed up enough that I was able to get out there and put a new heat tape on the water pipes and get those fixed up again. But we have short daylight hours here and the wind was still kind of blowing, so I didn't get the airplane put in the hangar. Well, yesterday was Saturday the 28th. I had the time and everything, and the weather was right to get the hangar open, so we put the airplane in the hangar. We brought the airplane over and stuck it in the hangar. I didn't want to put it all the way in the hangar and close it up because I got to take this wing off the right side. I had the wing off the left side last year and recovered it. Wound up doing some work to it, and this right side needs to be recovered too. The fabric needs to be redone on it. But after doing the left side and seeing the potential for corrosion, for damage in the wing, it made me real anxious to get this right side done here before. There wasn't any damage in the left side, but if I'd let it go a couple more years, there would have been. So anyway, like I said, it made me even more anxious to get this right side done. But I didn't have time to do them all in 1 year, one season. Took me most of the spring and summer, winter and spring last year to get that left side done. So anyway, we wanted to leave the door open until I can get this right wing out of here. When we did the left wing, I was able to take it off and just take that worn door off and get that wing out of there. But this right wing is a little different story. We've got two doors on this side, and the middle door is hinged onto the right-hand side door. So it's got to come off, open up and come off at the same time that the other door does. Oh, we didn't have time yesterday to get the door or the wing off. We left the doors off. My son came and helped me yesterday, put the airplane in the hangar. Again, by the time we got done, it was getting dark. Too dark to fool around with it anymore. And then yesterday was Saturday, which is my son and my movie night, date night. Anyway, on Saturday nights, he stays over after walking the dogs, and we usually find a movie or a TV show to watch. Series. We've been watching an English spy TV series called Alex Rider, where Alex Rider is the star of the show. The main character is about a 16-year-old boy or something that outsmarts all the best spies in the country, in England. I think there's 3 seasons of that. And we watched season 1 a couple months ago, and now we're on season 2, in the middle of it. Anyway, we watched a couple of episodes of that last night. And then after he left, my wife and I watched TV. We've been watching a TV series that came out recently called The Count of Monte Cristo. And we watched the last episode of it last night before she went to bed. There wasn't much else going on, and I'm kind of a night owl. So I came out here and worked on this wing last night after everybody went to bed. I got the ailerons and the flaps off, and I got the flap cable disconnected. I got Three of the fuel hoses disconnected here. I still got the rear one, the rear fuel hose to disconnect. I took the cover off the fuel tank and disconnected that radio antenna. I've got one wire to cut there, and I've got to open up the hole there in the side of the airplane up there in the wing root to get that aileron cable out. But I got this other aileron cable off. So everything is just about ready to go on here. I just got to take the last bolts out here in the wing struts to get those off. So we've got 2 bolts down here where the wing struts attach to the fuselage, and then 2 bolts up here where the wing struts attach to the wing, and then the wing will be free. I guess I better go ahead and get that wire cut for that nav light and get that aileron cable out of there before I do anything else. So that's what I'll do now. So anyway, I went ahead and used the Bobcat to pull the airplane farther back out. I hooked straps up to the ceiling, to the rafters before I brought the airplane in here, and I brought them out here farther forward so it's easier to get the wing off. So we get the wing loosened up, get it off, suspended from the straps, and then I can pull the airframe, the airplane, all the way back in the hangar, and the wing will be out here where we don't have to deal with trying to get it around the airplane and stuff. Still got all this junk over here on my workbench to deal with. It'll be easier to deal with that with it out here farther than it would have been if it was all the way back in the hangar. So anyway, I've got my straps hooked up now, and I'll get these 2 wires fixed up here on the aileron cable and my nav light. So I need a knife, cut out a little bit of that Kydex that I have in the wing root. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There are 2 bolts here in the wing root that attach the wing to the fuselage. I've got to just take those off too. So we're coming along here. So I got to open up this wing root here so I can get that cable. I don't want to cut the cable. I don't want to. It's not that big of a deal to make new cables, but there's no point in doing it if I don't have to. I'm going to take the nuts off of these. I'll knock the nuts down a little bit and take a hammer and back these bolts out of here just a little bit. I could actually take those out because those forks go right in there, so that wouldn't hurt anything to take those out at all. Now these are special bolts. It doesn't matter so much on the float plane, but on the wheel plane they have to be shorter than the standard bolt, different than the standard bolt, because on a wheel plane, the landing gear comes up. When it comes up and it hits these bolts right here, there's a landing gear attachment right here. And as it swings up, it can hit those bolts and cause a problem with that, and maybe bend that fitting or break bolts or something like that. So there's special bolts that go in there. Like I said, it doesn't really matter on the float plane. So this hardware here on the wing takes 1/2 inch wrenches on it. So I've got to go over to the shop. I put everything away the other day after I got done working on the pickup. So I got to go over to the shop and get some 1/2 inch tools. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff on this one here. You got the bolt going through there, and then there's a tie down ring that slips over that strut there where it goes up into the strut attach fitting, and there's a spacer, and then there's a bracket for a pulley here. No, it ain't off there yet. Here's the pulley bracket. Now this is the pulley. This cable goes from down underneath. It's attached into the torque tube. And then comes up here, up this wing strut, goes through this pulley, and then goes through the wing here and comes out the top of the wing. Now this strap won't come down by itself because it's got this tie down ring here. And so it's actually kind of a pain. But spacer was stuck on there pretty good with the peralcatone. Just hold on to it right here. And it doesn't matter anywhere right here. You can pull this out and hold on to it. You stand up there and hold it up a little bit, just so that it doesn't fall. There it goes. All right. Now it can come down. All right, just hold on to it. All right, I got it. I got it. Didn't come crashing down this time. I was wondering why that socket wouldn't fit on there. I had the nut in there off of the wing strut was still in the socket. So this one takes a 1/2 inch socket, so it's a 3/8 inch bolt, just like the wing struts. This one calls for a 16. I wind up using a 17 or something like that on there. I don't remember exactly for sure, but anyway, use a longer bolt on here because we've got the rings on here for the seaplane lift, which are just about like the ones for the tie downs, except the ears on it are straight instead of angled like the tie down rings. I threaded that out part way. It was going through there kind of stiff. See, yeah, it's tapping easy now. Well, there it is. That front one is done off of there. Now I need to get the rear one loose. Oh, I'll move this platform around to the rear of the wing and work on it from there. Oh, there goes my nuts. Somebody, when I was doing the videos of doing the left wing and having it in the basement, getting ready to start stripping the fabric off of it, somebody admonished me for laying my tools on the wing without a cover or anything on there. I was thinking, I didn't say anything, but I was thinking, you think that's bad? Wait till you see me start the next when I start ripping the fabric off completely. Dark down there underneath the wing working on it, but get up here on top of the wing, it's plenty light. There it goes. All right, that wing is free except for that fuel line back there on that rear of that tank. Okay, that's done. I'll get this stuff out of the way, pick that wing up a little bit on that inboard edge so that it clears the wing, the airplane, and we'll pull the airplane back in the hangar. Camera's fogging up, of course. Foggy out here, cold out here today compared to what it has been. All right, that's good. Get that platform out of the way, and I can use the winch to pull that airplane back. Okay, the wing is separated from the airplane now. That was one stage of the project. I got to go up and finish cleaning out the basement or straightening it out a little bit so I've got room to put it in there. I've got it pretty much straightened out. We've got a bunch of stuff moved out of there, but when I put that shower in there, that took up a lot of the space that some of the tools that we had in there before took up. So I've got to go rearrange things and try to figure out how to make some more room in there, how to get enough room in there to get the wing in so I can get it on the sawhorses and have room to work on it. Fortunately, it's easy enough to move that lathe around now. I got it on the casters, so that's not such a big deal. I'm getting a little earlier start on it this year than I did last year. Hopefully we'll be able to get it done in time to go flying this spring. All right, I better get going. Getting chilly out here and this camera's getting fogged up and I got other stuff to do. I'm not going to be able to do it, I guess. Now, for the last week and a half or so, we've had some pretty warm weather, up into the 40s. The wind blew quite a bit, so almost all, well, in fact, all the snow's gone around here. And I was able to get the airplane home, even though it was too windy for me to open the hangar doors there for a couple of days. We finally got it in the hangar, and then I got the wing off of it. Well, yesterday I lowered the wing down, put it on a couple sawhorses, and then yesterday afternoon my son come over and a couple of neighbor boys came over and helped, and we moved the wing up to the basement so I could start working on it up there. So after we got the airplane in the hangar, I closed up this left door, this door here on this side, and I left the other two doors open so I could get that wing out of there. But when I closed this door up, got in kind of a hurry while it was getting late and dark, and I didn't pull all of that paper out. We've got paper roofing underlayment tacked all on the front here to weatherproof these doors. And of course I got a piece hanging down off of that beam up there, and I got in a hurry and forgot to push that paper out so that it overlapped in the front here. Anyhow, I gotta pull that out of there, get that set up, and now that I've got the wing out of the hangar, I can close the hangar back up again. We got the other door closed last night, buttoned back up. I got the excavator started up so that I can bring that other door over here and hang it. But before I do that, I want to get this stuff pulled out of here so we can get the, otherwise the rain just runs down as it hits here, just runs right down that paper and down inside the hangar in the door, which kind of defeats the purpose of having this stuff on here in the first place. I don't really want to open this door up all the way, get that paper out of there, because it's a pain in the butt to get it. It's not a pain to get it closed. It closes pretty easy, but it can be a pain to get it up the right spot, because we have to take a bar here on this outside edge and lift that door up so that it's level here, so that I've got it bolted to a beam or timber going up to help support the ceiling up there, the whole help support that beam. And I've got the door bolted into that timber to get it lined up so the holes are lined up right. The bolts line up on that timber. You got to pick that door up because it's a heavy son of a gun and it sags. All right, that's good. That's good. That's done. Well, as I said, we had pretty nice warm weather for the last week and a half or so. Well, the forecast was saying that it was going to get snow this week, this coming week. It's supposed to start snowing yesterday or day before yesterday. Now it says we're going to get this clear weather that we've got here, and it's going to get cold again. So it would be nice to get that hangar closed back up. And now I've got my pickup on. I really don't have any work to do. I mean, in the hangar out where it's going to be cold. Everything I got to do now mainly is going to be working on the wing. I got to get the airplane winterized. I'll get that done today. Get this thing closed up, and then I can start working on the wing in the basement. And even though if it gets really cold again, the basement stays kind of chilly in there, it's still workable in there. When you get in here in the hangar, it might only be able to get the temperature up in there to 25 or 30 degrees. Hi, G, you want another chicken strip? You do? Another chicken strip? There you go. All right. Not much you can do to help me, bud. Hydraulics on that leak down kind of slow. I can actually use that to my advantage by getting this thing positioned right here and let it leak down. There it goes. All right. Okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins on that all have to be lined up together. I better do on this door what I forgot to do on the other one, and that's push this stuff out before we get it all closed up and tied down. All right, come back here now. Uh-oh. All right, now I have some last strips or stickers that I got, and I'll take those and tack all that down so it doesn't flop in the breeze. I haven't tacked it down all fall here when we've been working in here because I've been opening and closing that door, and I didn't want to have to untack everything every time that I undid that. All right, the hangar is all buttoned up. Doors are all closed and it's all buttoned up in there. I got some stuff to do, straighten around inside there and stuff. Doing some winterizing on the airplane. I gotta put heater and stuff in the engine compartment and in the cabin of the airplane there so it stays dried out. And a couple of other things. I think I'll start a fire in there. Fire's not going to warm it up in there much, but it helps dry it out. The airplane was wet when we stuck it in there, and then the front doors were open and stuff, so things got frosty in there. And of course the inside of that middle door was laying out here in the open, and it got frost all over it. So there's a lot of moisture in there, so I think I'll go ahead and get a fire going and see if we can't get some of the moisture out of there. Do a little bit of straightening out in there and stuff and get that airplane winterized, and then they can start working on the wing.